1. Greetings, every peoples. Your cult personality, Toon Critic's name. Toon Critic said the name of my game. See, you know what? I knew that. I knew there was going to be interruption.
Pork.
Frick. Whatever. You know what? Welcome to Roundtable's Magic. We do the little podcast. We talk about My Little Pony. We got a bunch of people with us. As always, we have British Ninja and his lizard.
This podcast has gone to the dogs, or more specifically, the lizards.
We have the duo of Golden Fox and Kefram.
Hello.
Golden is my pet.
Oh, really?
What? Wait a minute.
Oh my god. The context implications.
I feel like Keyframe would be the cat who just bugs Golden while he's trying to work.
Oh, that's a standing ovation right there. Standing
Like, no,
ovation.
cuddle me now.
We also have Lightning Bliss.
My rats applaud you for that joke. Well done, sir.
Oh, god.
We have Voice of Reason. Voice.
Do we
you might not.
We
I
don't
do
have Voice of Reason.
So, hi.
There is no voice of
What was
reason.
that
This
voice?
is a madhouse.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
I was saying I have no pet, so.
Oh.
Ah, well, you will be the resident Rainbow Dash for this podcast.
And we have two special guest stars for this episode. First off is Sweetie Bloom.
Boy. I figure that Goldie is probably the dog in the relationship.
Yep. But I'm the bitch.
And there
They're
goes the
both-
keyboard
She said it,
lady
not me.
out the window. Okay, and our very special guest star for this episode, he is the manliest Brony alive. We have Dusty Katt.
Yeah, that guy.
I've heard that guy. I heard he was a dweeb.
Yeah, you remember that guy? He can't do an Australian accent to save his life, I'm telling you.
Didn't we fight all the battlefield plots?
I'm telling you, wow. NEC hates me for that. He hates me.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Today we are
We're
talking
talking about
about
pets.
we're talking about pets. This was an
Yes, we
episode
are.
that we worked around because I've been wanting to have Dusty on Roundtable for a long time, so we worked out something, and this episode is actually one of his favorite episodes. We are talking today about May the Best Pet Win. It is another Season 2 episode we're covering on the hiatus. So, since this is your favorite episode, Dusty, what is one thing you liked about this episode to start things off?
I like this episode because it gives us. It's very early in the series, right? It's very early in season 2, and we're finally getting to see a bit more of Rainbow Dash's character. There's a lot of characterization for Rainbow Dash that happens in this episode, between facial expressions, between the little jibes that she does, pause for dramatic effect, dun dun dun, and all these things that make her a little more playful than she had been seen in the first season. So on top of that, this is a Woody Wooten episode. So again, Woody, one of my favorite directors, did this episode, and Charlotte Fullerton wrote it. So it was a very wonderfully written episode, wonderfully directed episode, and it had a lot of little things going on that just made me smile whenever I watched this episode.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you pass it off to?
But I get the choice?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Who do you want to go next?
Key, you go next.
Yeah. I like the song.
Damn it, you took my choice.
You took my
So-
point too.
The song is nice because it's a song, and I like songs and songs. 13,000 subs, everyone.
I'm gonna have to stop calling you Song Horse.
Okay. No, what I really liked about the song, like if I had to pick any particular moments with it, is the harmonies between Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy near the end when they sing together, which we didn't really get again until freaking season 6 with Flutter Brother.
Yep.
Yeah, which I love that song too. So it's like those two need to do more songs together because the Pegasi have good singing voices. Also, Derpy in the Chicken Coop and Owls Never Forget. for my pony anthology fans. So yeah, I pass it off to Sweetie Bloom.
Oh, good gracious. Well, I was thrown in here at the last minute, but, I guess, one of my favorite parts is probably, it's within the song, but I like the line, Bootsy, do you even know me?
Hello?
Because I'm always a fan of, character, bringing attention to characters and their characterizations and their interactions with the other characters.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, I'd say all the main 6 have familiars, so yay. But yeah, that's about it. I'll pass it off to the Bearded Dragon.
What?
He means me. God damn it. Hang on, I'm still here. I was just picking him up because he's running around a little bit. It's not often that he actually just gets to stay up here. I guess I'll just fire through my thing. Now, I know this is going to be like a tiny thing, but I wanted to mention it because I feel like you guys will cover the rest of the stuff. Just the little touches of the presentation of this episode. Like, this episode is full of awesome visuals and music, like Dusty mentioned. My favorite moment of this was definitely at the final bit of the race, where they raced to the tune of Flight of the Valkyries. And that's just...
Yes.
That's just so good. I know.
Anybody got that vibe of Apocalypse Now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
I got a Daniel Bryan vibe, but that's just me.
Yeah,
You
same.
know, normally...
Pecos I don't do any plot bombing, but, napalm would have been great right there.
I love the smell of turds in the morning.
Yes.
But yeah, I normally cover the more like complex or meaningful parts, but no, it's just an entertainment factor that's a major influence, and it's really awesome, and I think it's just great. So I suppose I will pass it off to Voice.
Well, shit, you stole mine with Ride of the Valkyries.
My bad. I'm gonna have to put the lizard back, by the way, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's another thing I liked in this episode. I actually thought the humor was really good in this one. Yeah, just like the not really taking itself seriously type humor, like when with Rainbow, just like the pause for dramatic effect, and just like zooming out to what was the gorge called again?
Ghastly Gorge.
Ghastly Gorge.
Da, 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 just it just automatically zooms out to where they are.
Yeah, and like the way it zooms out is by every shot.
Mm-hmm. And
We
then
don't really get minor humor moments like that anymore.
No, we don't. I hope
That's
we do in season 7 and 8.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and
Oh, by the way, season 7 and 8.
Oh, yes.
Woo!
Still waiting on that release date.
For ponies, it will never end.
all right, now I'll pass it off to who hasn't gone? Has Bliss gone yet?
No,
Yes, I haven't gone yet.
Neither have
I
I.
haven't gone yet.
Okay, Bliss, you're up.
Yay. I love the animal interactions. Each one had its own individual abilities, and I liked how it was addressed each time. Like, I was just thinking, I knew she was going to go with the tortoise, but just because I knew deep down, like, it's like the whole rabbit versus the tortoise shtick, but for a different moral reason. But I loved how like every single animal was displaying how much they really wanted to be Rainbow Dash's pet, that they were willing to go above and beyond as pets to impress her. But yeah, the animals had a lot of character in them. The falcon, the eagle, the bat. See, it kind of got me thinking, like, oh man, if I really could have any pet I want, what would I really, really want? Like, I thought having a bat would be awesome, but
A yellow striped bat.
do you have a yellow striped bat? No. But I have a pink
Well, darn it,
flamingo.
Fluttershy, you're useless to me.
What to do? What to do?
You mean more than usual?
Okay, surely you can find a unicorn to dye your pet, okay?
Why would you do that to an animal?
I know it's terrible. It's magic.
Yellow would be the worst possible color for a bat. It would starve to death because it wouldn't be able to camouflage, and every single
that's
predator
why
would be able to see it from a mile away.
But that's why you take care of it, because you're its owner.
Exactly. You take care of a bat
I'm
domestically.
just kidding.
Oh,
Come on.
jeez.
But yeah, the animal interactions, they all had a unique personality to themselves. I love the fact that the bald eagle knitted a sweater for it.
Yeah.
That is impressive. I want that pet.
But yeah, so I will pass it off to Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Get your tiger by the toe.
Who do you think is left?
That's me and Fox.
So,
And Zach has to be last because he's the most important.
What? No.
it's hard to tell. You both have black hair, so who's most edgy right now?
Oh, who's edgy? Do you really? Bliss, come at me. Come at me. I am the edgiest son of a gun in this room right now.
I recall in Pacific PonyCon you admitted that you were a certain cinnamon roll.
That was never proven.
Oh, you admitted it.
It was recorded.
I recorded it. I admitted it, so I got there. So on that note, I'll go with...
Hashtag salty tune.
Okay, Goldie boy, I swear to God.
He's the pugilist whose red and black is where it's at.
The Fox tag team!
Did you pass it on to someone?
And he can keep his hat on.
I guess you're up, Toon.
No, I passed it.
Oh, you're up, Golden.
All right. I was going to talk about the song, but that was already picked. So instead, there's something else that not many people talk about. The highlight of this episode, aside from the song, that I actually appreciate is when near the end, Dash decides to pick and make the decision of choosing the tortoise, because despite that Dash wants a cool pet or wants a flying pet or wants a pet that would meet to her satisfaction, I think the most important to pick is whoever is the most loyal, and it further establishes her element, which I think is better fitting, especially after the quote-unquote 127 hours incident where her wing got stuck under a boulder.
Nice reference.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, and it's I think it's a pretty good message that, not just like choosing your pet, but for somebody who you can rely on is somebody who's willing to help you out in a situation that can be very devastating. And I think that's the kind of message that some people need to know about. Like, you could be friends with some of the coolest people, but will they really help you out? And given my experience and given...
Crap, you're on to us.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So it speaks a lot if there's somebody who's willing to help you out and you're willing to do something for them in return. And I think that's somebody much more loyal that you would want to be with, instead of just being somebody because they're either cool or there's something that doesn't have as much of a personal impacting value to you, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Yes. So finally, I pass it back to... I pass it to Toon. He's the last one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to imagine that how this episode came about. You got this dude who comes into the room. He's like, "All right, hey boss, I got the best episode for you." "All right, what do you got, Jimmy?" "All right, well, it's an episode about Rainbow Dash. You know how everyone has pets, right?" "Yeah." "Well, imagine this. Imagine if Rainbow Dash gets the lamest pet ever." "Why?" "Because it's
Lame.
ironic."
Lame.
Okay.
As a
You
reptile
do.
guy, again, I am offended.
No, I just want you to imagine just everybody gets all these pets that matches them, right? Well, Rainbow Dash gets the slowest pet, which goes against everything that she usually is for. It's ironic, and it's probably my favorite thing about this episode. They made it work. A whole entire setup for this is just one big ironic joke. And they played it up to where it's believable enough. And I love that. I think the connection that these two have is solidified right near the end of it, realizing that the tortoise is the one that saves you, so you kind of owe him one, Dash.
Well, I think it's less that she owed him one, but I think what Goldie was mentioning is that Yeah, she values speed, but what's her element?
Loyalty.
Loyalty.
You know,
Honesty.
And that's the one that, even though obviously not as fast, is still the one who is most like her in morality and values.
Which is why, after reanalyzing the episode, because I'm not going to lie, the first time I saw this episode, I was very against it, because I'm just like, why? This is a really stupid idea. But then, a week later, I went back and rewatched it and looked over it again. I'm like, oh, I see what they've done here. That's why this is one of my favorite Season 2 episodes.
Can we also appreciate the fact that Tank keeps a pair of sunglasses in his shell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the fact that he was not afraid to take on Rarity's cat and steal its toy away.
Yeah.
I know, right? That was bravery right there.
That was a brave little
We
guy.
need a Tank Day.
Tank is very underappreciated out of all the pets, I think. He doesn't get enough love.
Tank
You know
is
what I
best
miss?
pet.
You know what I miss about Tank?
What?
What?
You know what I miss? Somebody made Tank's a Twitter for Tank, right? And they would Twitter something like a month after somebody came up with something. Or a week after somebody came up with something, they'd make a reply. And it was the most hilarious thing ever.
Didn't
and
they
I
really?
It took him that long to type it.
Stop doing it. It was like, come bring that back. It was like hilarious.
How do you know he's just typing a really long response?
I know. But it's been dormant for like over 2 years. So I'm like, oh man, I wish that person would bring that back because that was freaking hilarious.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
He'll pop up with another tweet out of completely nowhere after 2 years. Be like, hey, guys.
You know, I feel. I'm sorry if I'm diverging. I feel really bad for the Falcon who won fair and square and now lives in the Fluttershy's house alone.
It's especially saddening because he took it so well. He's all like, I accept it.
Winners don't deserve love.
You're a stand-up pet, man.
That's why the Rainbow Dash almost getting eaten by all of them in Freaky Magical Mystery Cure seems so cathartic because all these pets are like,
I know.
That actually...
Owls never forget.
You didn't choose us.
That actually brings me,
Owls
since we're going backwards now, so I guess I'll bring it up to the point that I didn't like about this episode. Rainbow Dash is kind of a dick. Putting the pets through the ghastly gorge and expecting all of them to succeed, you do realize that some of them could die.
Hey, they could have backed out at any time.
Anytime.
They would rather die than go back to Fluttershy's cottage.
What is going?
It's something
She's
in the
a
food,
wicked-
man. It's something in the food.
Stay out of my shed.
Oh, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for a shit reference. But it's just like, oh, someone put in the chat, hashtag Ghastly Gorge Screwjob. No, it's just, I don't like that. I don't like this idea that Rainbow Dash has to put all these pets through this gauntlet of death just to prove, oh yeah, you're totally gonna be my pet. Well, what if none of them make it? Then what, Dash? You just killed a bunch of Fluttershy's... You just killed a bunch of Fluttershy's pets, and for what? You idiot.
It's the Rainbow Games.
Oh, just I
mean,
know that's not. This still is one of my favorite episodes, but it's this point that makes me wonder and think.
They're afraid of Angel Bunny. I love that.
It's because Dash values athletics and physical capabilities over emotional ties. Like,
Yeah, is it bad that I imagine Rainbow being like that kid from Finding Nemo? If she got a goldfish as a pet, she keeps shaking the bag.
No.
oh god, why?
Oh my god.
Darla!
Okay.
Oh
Anyway.
god.
But yeah, that's. No, go ahead.
To be fair, though, when it comes to owning a pet, you do have to sort of know that they're going to be able to survive in the environment you're going to put them in. And Rainbow Dash lives up in the sky, and she does a lot of, like, stunts and weather stuff, and if her pet's going to follow her, she needs to know that they'll be safe. You know, so... And yeah, like I said, they could have backed out at any time.
Alright. Now, this is the part where I normally just pass it off to the next person. This is not one of
Don't do
those.
cartoons.
Don't do cartoons.
Don't do cartoons, dude.
I did say normally, so that's not going to happen. I pass it back to Golden Fox.
Okay.
Dodged a bullet there, folks.
This is probably going to cause a bit of an uproar when I talk about this. As much as I admire the concept with Dash and Tank, his appearance was absolutely arbitrary. We have the song establishing the fact that Dash wanted a flying pet. The lyrics made that perfectly clear, and Fluttershy was talking about it. Yeah, we'll go for a flying pet, and let's hold the contest and everything. After the commercial break, we have the tortoise being shoved in, and even Dash was like, seriously, Fluttershy? What part of flying do you not understand? And when I saw this character doing what it does, immediately I said, he's going to win the contest, isn't he? He may have been, but it's so random and right out of the blue that you just have this tortoise there. It's as if Fluttershy was not listening to a single thing Dash was saying and made the best pet win.
Animal care.
What?
It's almost as if Fluttershy sucks at animal care.
Oh, trust me.
Oh my God, Fern.
Trust me, sweetie. I think you and I are going to have similar complaints about this episode. But just saying, you know what your point just reminded me of?
What?
There was an episode of SpongeBob called The Great Snail Race. And
Yes.
And Patrick Snail was a rock.
Yes, I remember that. And funny enough, he won the contest.
Yeah.
That's just pure
But like,
awesome.
it just seems so random and just right out of nowhere that, oh yeah, we got this tortoise. Like this tortoise here is like, seriously, Fluttershy, you just gave out the entire ending of what's going to happen near the end of the episode.
Then when would have they introduced Tank?
Okay, I think a better way to introduce is like, let's say while the song is going on, there's like a few shots where like the tortoise has somewhat of an admiration for
He does. He's in.
No,
He does.
not in the sense of like, oh, here's this character thrown in there, which is what was done. I'm talking about a shot or two during the song, and then it just moves to the next one where he just like pops right in and Fluttershy's unaware of it.
Oh.
I think that would have worked better. Like, oh, something tells me the tortoise might be interested, and they would talk about it. Instead, Fluttershy's like, oh, here's this tortoise who wants to enter the contest. It's like, what? What?
He did have establishing shots in the song, but
He did.
You're
Okay, well, I may have
concerned
to
that-
take a look at the episode again because it's been years since I've seen it.
That's what I mean by there was he keeps sunglasses in there.
Yeah,
because
Okay, if it was in there,
sunglasses.
then my apologies for that. I just think it would have worked better had they not shown Fluttershy just saying, oh, let's give this tortoise a chance. No, if you just take that out of there and he just, like, creeps into the contest, then I think it would have worked better instead of, like, oh, here's this tortoise here. Let's completely forget the fact that he has nothing to do with this flying stuff, except that he may win the tournament. It's like, it's so right out of the blue. Or it feels like it.
You know,
Yeah, I'll admit it probably would have been better if rather than Fluttershy trying to elbow him in, he sort of snuck in. But then at the same time, I feel like it would have been like, because some of the things weren't exactly races, they were like performances.
yeah.
Performances.
Yeah, that would have been if Rainbow Dash had agreed to have him be part of the contest, it would have been weird for him to still be there.
Wasn't one of the categories awesomeness?
Yes. And radicalness.
Radicalness.
Fullness, awesomeness, and radicalness.
Aren't those the same thing?
You would think that, Twilight. This is why you.
That's why you can never be my
qualify
pet.
to be my pet.
Which is
That's like the worst insult ever.
That killed so many
You are
fan
my
fictions
friend,
that
but
day.
you'll never be my pet.
Anyway, who do you pass it? I guess we move it back to
Bliss, I think?
To Blissy.
All right, Bliss, you're up.
I enjoyed this episode so much. It's really hard for me to find anything negative about it. So this is just going to be a nitpick. I did not like how at the very beginning when her friends showed up for a pet date that they didn't bother to invite her from the start. Yeah, I know their reasoning behind it is because, well, you don't have a pet, so what's the point? But if you guys are going to hang out together, maybe you want to just invite her as a friend. Just because she doesn't have a pet doesn't mean you can't let her know what all of you are doing. But what saved that scene for me was Fluttershy. Oh, she didn't know? Nobody told her? Oh, she didn't know, and she just started fidgeting to the ground. I'm like, yeah, y'all didn't think about inviting your friend to come along? Well, she doesn't have pets, says Applejack. I'm like, well, still, beside the point, y'all are going to hang out together, so.
I mean,
I don't know every time my friends hang out together without me.
That's true, but I try to include all of my friends in activities I'm doing. I try.
Sure.
I mean, try. And then when I find out that they were left out or left behind, I tend to fidget like Fluttershy.
I think it's more, I think at least with the main six's case, it's not like, I don't know, the main six seem to be a little bit more of a tight-knit group than, a bunch of friends on the internet.
Yeah.
But even in my tight groups, they tend to, like, for instance, if I were to go to a superhero movie, and I had a friend who I knew didn't like superhero movies, I wouldn't invite them. And then I'm just like, oh, I didn't think you'd want to go.
Yeah, this is a nitpick. So, I mean, a good example for me would be like, let's say I'm hanging out with, let's say me, Zach, and Boyce, and Josh, we were all neighbors, hypothetically speaking.
Boy, that'd be fun.
That would be interesting.
Terrifying
They all go out to see a live wrestling match.
Yeah!
And they don't invite me. Obviously, I don't think I would be too salty about it because I do not care for wrestling, and they all know this. Now, if they all went out for ice cream and didn't take me, then
well, that's
we need to talk.
No, that's because they invited their best friend Keyframe, who wanted a double scoop.
I mean, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. It's them doing something that Rainbow wouldn't be interested in, or have even the skills to participate. Really.
Yeah, but
so they and I don't think they were trying to hide it from her. They
were in an open field, so
yeah. Again, though, I figured, well, they're going to hang out in the park together, so I figured, oh, well, they're going to the park. Surely Rainbow Dash would love to do that. But again, it is a humongously minor nitpick for the sake of me actually saying something negative about it. So, in other words, I could bat an eye at it at this point because it's not really that big of a deal. They really pretty much covered their ground. So, I will pass it back to
Voice.
Alrighty, I think I didn't like about this episode. I try to organize my thoughts for what I didn't like about this one. The rest of the main six were useless in this episode, with the exception of Fluttershy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this started a trend of they're just in the background kind of episodes.
I love the... No, I think the one thing... I know a lot of people bring this up for those who like really, really don't like this episode, is that...
Mr. Enter.
Yeah, he's one of them. But I know quite a few others who really don't like this. Is the fact that the girls are basically just bystanders to Rainbow Dash's quote-unquote abuse of the animals.
Hmm.
And Twilight does mention, like, does she not know what a pet is? And they just drop it after that.
Yeah, I'm going to get back to that point.
Good boy.
Yeah, and I actually do agree with, like, yeah, they could have stepped in at any point and they did all.
Wow, someone who actually censored themselves. Well, it's a little bit too late for that now, Voice. You're fine, though.
They did all. Well, in that case, I'll say they did all two things: Jack and shit, and Jack left town.
Right.
All right, I'll pass it back to Ninja.
Yes.
Ninja.
Okay, the thing I didn't like about this one is very common criticism. It's that as soon as you see that goddamn turtle getting close to Dash, you know exactly where all this is going story-wise. You know, you're just waiting for the inevitable tortoise and hare homage, and that's not a terrible thing, because just because we've seen the story a million times doesn't mean its intended audience hasn't seen the stories. But I don't know, as someone who's read any book ever, like, it's so crystal clear what's going to be happening. Like, I don't know which is more obvious, either this or Rarity Investigates, as to what the climax is going to be.
Yeah.
We all kind of saw the ending coming from a mile away, but still.
If it wasn't for the amazing presentation that I mentioned earlier, this episode would have been cart before the ponies levels of boring. But because it had amazing presentation, great dialogue and humor, I could overlook the fact that the story wasn't all that.
Entertainment value goes a long way.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And with that, I think, was Sweetie Bloom before me? Or
Yes.
Was it Frame? Yeah, it was Sweetie
All
Bloom.
right, everybody get set.
It was
There we
Sweetie.
go.
Yeah.
ready.
I want to preface that I do overall like this episode. If I were to nitpick, I would say that it's the point where Applejack goes, does Rainbow Dash even know what it takes to take care of a pet? And that's not brought up again. Not only not by the remaining 4, but not at all in the episode. And I think that's a problem because I feel like a factor in choosing a pet is, can you take care of it? And a tortoise especially is not exactly a beginner pet. It's not like she's adopting a goldfish. You know, this is reptiles can be tricky animals to take care of. And they don't bring up that she has the, they sort of blanket it at the end that, look, I have magic to make him fly. But she doesn't, I mean, years later, she doesn't even know that he hibernates. She clearly doesn't know anything about reptile care. And I feel like that's something they glossed over a little too much.
Wait, reptiles don't eat hamburgers? Hayburgers?
Yeah, no.
Oh my god.
Especially tortoises. Tortoises are specifically herbivores.
No, it's true. I mean, when I was a kid, I did have a tortoise. We called her Curly Diamond. Because I wanted to name her Diamond. My mom wanted to name her Curly. But so we said Curly Diamond. But, you know, I played with her all the time. I took her outside. I made sure she had fresh lettuce every day. I gave her apples. But something happened, and to this day, I still don't know what it is. And again, I am no reptile expert. There go. I probably wasn't then what I am now because I never had experience. But ants kept getting into her cage. And then one day she wasn't there.
Oh.
And my mom told me, and at the time, again, I was really young. I didn't understand what death was. So my mom told me, oh, she went to heaven. You'll see her one day. I'm like, oh, okay.
She ran away while you were at summer camp.
No, see, I never knew what happened to her. I don't know if, like, ants ate her or something happened to her. I don't know. And
ants are monsters.
Fire ants are horrible, horrible creatures. But
Yes, they are.
yeah, I look back on all that now, and I'm thinking, reptiles, they're you got to know what you're doing with them. They need extra attention. They need like a heating lamp. Needed a place to cool off. They have a specific diet. I mean, if it's a snake, obviously. If it's a dragon, if it's an iguana, it's a they all have.
Or it's like. It's like thinking getting a Shiba Inu is a good idea for a first dog.
Yeah.
No.
Yes,
God.
I remember I had a friend who was like, oh, I'm getting my first pet ever. It's like, oh, what are you getting? I'm getting a husky. And we all just went,
No!
It's like, that is one of the worst first pets you have. They're so high maintenance. You need to
get a
ease your
beagle
way into pet ownership.
Like, getting a Shiba Inu just because you wanted the Doge meme, like...
or
no,
an Akita.
Yeah,
wow,
Akita,
very
those
stupid. Much
or
shittier.
people getting Akitas, and I ended up discovering that Akitas have their own like rescue society now because people fail to realize how difficult of a breed of dog that is. They only bond with like one person, and they are loyal to that person forever. They are not good around kids. They are not good around large families.
Or it's like the thing that you told me, Sweetie Bloom, when 101 Dalmatians first came out.
Yeah.
There was a Dalmatian puppy under every Christmas tree, and there was a Dalmatian in every alleyway by New Year's. Because people thought they were so cute in the Disney movie, but they didn't realize how high maintenance dogs they were.
You see, I'm an excellent pet taker. I have a Dalmatian and a lizard.
Yes. And I trust you. If you were to say you want a tortoise, I'd be like, okay, because I trust that you can take care of it. I don't trust Rainbow Dash to be able to take care of a tortoise. And then put in on top of that, we don't know how old Tank is, but tortoises can live to be pretty old. It's like they sometimes are the type of animals that people need to put in their wills.
Whatever you do, don't play got in your nose with it.
Yes.
Oh God.
I mean, aren't they the ones that can live? I mean, I know the really, really big ones from Madagascar. They can live over 200 years or so.
Well,
Give or take.
They can live
tortoise that
till-
right now would probably be closer to 100, but
Okay.
yeah.
Or like,
I mean, they're not like African greys, but they still live a really long time.
they're
Yeah.
kind of like they're kind of like certain breeds of parrots, because parrots can live a long.
That's what
I saw
that's
that.
what I mean. An African gray is a type of macaw that lives at least 150 years, and like usually are put in people's wills of like, take care of my bird.
Yeah, same thing
Gonna
with
outlive me.
yeah, same thing.
I am not high maintenance.
Are you sure, Blizz? Are you sure?
Apparently you're high
sure.
maintenance. Apparently you're high maintenance enough to interrupt me.
I'm sorry.
But no, like
Sick bird.
no, I was gonna say same thing with my dad. My dad has a Mexican yellowhead parrot, beautiful bird. That's like he got the bird when my dad was 35, and my dad is 62 now. So, and
Yeah.
it's one of those birds. It's one of those birds that lives for such a long time, especially when you take such good care of it, which we have. So that bird is going to be in my name once my parents kick the bucket.
Wow.
And then you'll probably have to put it in your will. For your
God,
Yeah.
can you
That
imagine
you don't
recording videos with a parrot? Be so awkward to audio edit.
Well, the bird doesn't talk much; it just maniacally laughs when bad things happen. Like one time we got locked out of the house, and we could just hear it laughing inside the house. We're like,
Oh man.
Parrots are evil. I saw the video of a parrot learning to unlock a door, and as it walked through, it was the most maniacal laugh.
Anyway, sweetie, was that all you had to say?
That is, yes. I
Okay.
can pass it to you, Miss Frame.
Okay.
Or
God, I
Miss,
didn't
Mrs.
like
Fox. Are we at that point yet?
Yes,
No,
go
not
ahead,
yet.
Key.
I didn't like Fluttershy in this episode.
Oh.
Shock and dismay.
Meh.
I am just saying, because I'm with Sweetie Blue and very. I remember one time. Story time. I remember one time me and Sweetie were at Disneyland and we were talking about Fluttershy. And with her conversations, I am convinced that Fluttershy is one of the worst animal caretakers on television.
Wait, what?
Because of what I told her.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that because it's a
So,
kid show.
I saw it with new eyes, and I'm like, I've been awoken.
Everyone
But-
needs to be woke.
Yes,
No,
everyone
your
needs to
animals
wake
with
up,
Fluttershy.
see the truth, see the pink lemonade truth.
What?
But anyway, what I didn't like about Fluttershy in this episode specifically, I mean, okay, the other main six could just be bystanders, being like Rainbow Dash is being stupid, but not do anything. These are the animals that Fluttershy is taking care for. Yes, they could back out at any time, but I feel like as the caretaker for these animals, she should have at least stepped in with Rainbow. This is not a good idea with the ghastly gorge.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. I mean,
It's like
yeah.
even if she it could have even had with Rainbow Dash saying the pets want to do this, right, guys, and them nodding.
They're
and
all just
everything,
shaking their head like, no, please,
And it's like
Fluttershy, help.
they could be nodding their head yes or something, and that would show that they at least have enough sentience that they can make this kind of choice. Because here's the thing about the animals in the show that are not hoofed. It's
sapient,
always
by the way. A sapient is the term you meant.
yeah, sapient. But it's like thank you. But it's like sapient. It's always confusing to see how much sapience do these animals have that they're at least on a lower caste system than the other animal that is the main thing, horses. But it's like sometimes, yeah, you can, like, cows have enough sapience that, they can talk. But it's like the birds and the tortoises and the pets and stuff, they can at least have their own little world kind of thing. But it's like, do they have enough knowledge to know the true danger of what's going on and how they can get hurt? Because the show never, makes a clear line of what dignifies things as animal mentality and the more human-like mentality, And I feel like Fluttershy would know that line and would step in and say, Rainbow, this is not a good idea. This is not what you do with pets. you know, that kind of thing. I mean, if
and
anything,
later in the series. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yes, I can see, like, she wants to have a pet that will be able to withstand this type of stuff that she has to do. But in that case, they should have done a weather-based activity instead of going through a gorge.
Yeah, and I was saying, like, later in the show, Fluttershy has a, like, panic attack over Twilight levitating her animals. But this she has no problem with.
What's that?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I just, the other main six I can give somewhat of an excuse because it's not like they have much personal attachment to the animals themselves. Fluttershy does, because these are the animals that live in her cottage or in the area surrounding it that she takes care of. That's what kind of just, I'm just kind of like, Fluttershy, you really suck at your job in this episode. But that's what I didn't like. Everyone needs to be woke.
Well, I just
wake up and smell the coffee.
I just want to say something. I feel like this episode kind of set the limit or the line, and that eventually that actually improved a bit in the later episodes with Fluttershy and Bobby Pets, because she legitimately, there were episodes where she would freak out about the safety of the animals, like with Twilight doing a magical performance display using the animals in levitation, and Fluttershy was like, if anything happens to them, Twilight, so help me!
Yeah, so it's like, I'm glad they improved upon it. Doesn't negate the fact that this episode did not. But yeah, so that's what I didn't like, so I pass it back to the mustache guy.
The mustache guy. Is that what I'm down to now? I'm just the mustache guy? To you?
The guy
with
the plushies that you didn't give me one of.
Aww.
Oh, now you're just going to use that against me, are you?
I made your banner!
I've got hundreds in that. Well, not hundreds, but I've got a lot in the garage. Trust me, you'll get one. No problem.
Hey, how about we all get one?
Oh my God. Okay, now
I gotta pay for the loan for these things, you know.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't pay for these things with my good looks.
You could have.
You probably could have.
I don't look that good. But anyway, being this is one of my favorite episodes, it was very hard to come up with something that I didn't like about this episode. Very, very hard to come up with something I didn't like. But there is one thing that I cannot stand.
Oh boy.
One thing. One nitpicky thing.
Yeah.
That the American Eagle was curling with Rainbow Dash.
What?
The national
Curling?
the national sport of Canada.
So that's what you would do.
The American Eagle was curling with Rainbow Dash.
So you're upset. You're upset because the American Eagle is playing a Canadian sport.
Yes, that's the sport for the goose, not for the eagle.
Now, if they'd been playing hockey, I could parse that. I could parse hockey. Okay?
It's a Chicago Eagle at that point.
Because 80% of the hockey teams are in America nowadays. But I could parse that. But curling?
No proud American Eagle would be holding a broom to a giant slab.
Giant rock slab, yeah. That's not a thing an American Eagle would do.
They needed to play hoofball. Wait, not hoofball anymore. We can't use that anymore.
Buckball?
Use that now.
They need to play. They need to play football or baseball or.
Yes.
Yeah, didn't one of them have like an American football?
Did
that one? Yeah. Well, they kicked American style footballs in when Rainbow Dash and Applejack had the Iron Mare competition.
So America exists somewhere in Equestria.
Well, no, that type of ball game exists somewhere in Equestria.
True.
What it's called, we don't know yet.
It could even have been
football is like soccer, or football is like football around the world, except for it's called soccer here in America.
Kick the lemon-shaped ball.
Kick the baby. No, don't kick the baby.
Don't kick the baby.
That's terrible.
Ouch. kick, baby. I know that too.
That's the only thing I could come up with on this episode that I didn't like, or the animation errors.
Yeah,
What?
there was
Yeah,
a few.
There were a couple
Where-
of huge animation errors in there.
Where?
Well, you remember when Rainbow Dash comes skidding in front of all the pets, her face goes away?
Oh, I did. I've
yeah.
never seen that before.
Oh yeah, and the duck is superimposed on Rainbow
The duck-
Dash when she
yeah.
slides in.
Yep.
Oh,
So basically, they didn't check the levels when they were doing the
she became Rainbow Quack.
Rainbow Quack.
Oh, that reminds me, Dusty Quack.
Oh, why are you bringing that back?
Because it's funny. I was all
Well,
about this idea.
That was talking about May the Best Pet win.
Oh, hold on. Everyone's gone, right?
Yes.
Everything's all
Yeah.
good. No one's gonna get
Everyone's
interrupted,
gone.
right? Everything's all good.
No. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. Yes, Toon. Why? Why are you saying this?
Oh, good. Finally, now I can talk about this episode.
I hate my life.
Meow.
Hate you.
Oh God.
Okay.
Woof,
I'm
woof.
gonna go to the chat and talk about apparently British ninjas kicking babies.
So what is good, amigos? Cartoons here, giving you quick thoughts on this. I waited. Y'all wanted to hear my opinion, so I'm giving you my opinion.
I
All right.
didn't.
Well, the chat did.
Well, at least he.
While
at
you're
least he
here,
waited.
continue.
But someone's using their psychosis parody to get 2 opinions in there, whereas everybody else gets 1.
Okay.
Yeah, but at least he waited till the end. What were your thoughts?
Okay, so my thoughts on this episode, I'm going to just very simply go out and say that my favorite thing about this episode was the song. This song has to be one of the best songs of the series, if not just for Season 2 as well. The thing that I did not like, Rainbow Dash is an idiot. Not just for the reasons that Toon put, but also for the reason that she did not pick the Falcon, which is, out of all of them, the coolest, most radical, most awesomest pet that you can have. You have a Falcon.
You gotta have a faithful pet, not just a cool one.
Yeah, but see, cartoons. I have to say this about the Falcons. They look cool, but they don't win. But at the end of the day, who won the Super Bowl?
The New English
Okay,
Patriots.
listen here,
England
you.
wins again.
Oh,
Right there.
And you know what's funny? The Super Bowl actually is fitting compared to this episode because the Patriots were really slow at the start and then they made a massive comeback.
Yeah.
Just
there
like
you
the
go.
tortoise.
How did we get into sports in this? But no, the real kicker about this is that, alright, Dash, you're clearly missed out on the best pet. Who is the most radical? Who is the coolest? Who is the most awesomest? You're looking at him. Where's the pet applications? Come on, I want to be the pet. I have all of the qualifications right
God.
here.
I feel like if cartoons had a pet, it would be a rubber band. Because then he wouldn't lose it. He would just throw it and it would bounce back at him.
No, the thing is, cartoons would have a pet rock because that's the only one that would stand them.
You don't know that. You
would
don't
have-
know me.
He would have a pet hedgehog and then he would dip it in black paint.
But that would
Monster.
kill it, though.
I would totally
I said
report
dip,
you to
not
Sweetie
drown.
Blue. I would report your tail to Sweetie Blue for animal
Just like
abuse.
paint it black and call it shadow. No one notices the difference.
Anyways, yeah. Oh, I'll leave actually a thing for the people for if you've made it this far. Hashtag Blissy Quack. Thank you. See you guys in the next episode.
Blissy
son of a-
quack. Lovely.
Okay.
At least
Right.
you waited till the end. I respect that.
Oh, by the way.
I'm going to kick you from this call, Zach. I swear to God.
Dusty, looking forward to seeing you at Winnie City, sir. I'm sure you and I are going to have a great time.
If it's as good as Nightmare Nights, where he just stole your stuff.
Yeah, that was unrehearsed. He just yanked my title for like a good part of the panel.
Who said I gave it back?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. No, I think my favorite part is that just throughout Nightmare Nights, people kept stealing stuff from you.
Yeah.
Because because A and Y wore the cartoon's outfit. Me, Isaac, and Max kept taking your stuff while we were walking home from the diner.
Yeah.
I can't remember which convention it was, but wasn't there like an analysis panel where Dusty just kind of showed up and then left?
Yeah,
Yep.
that was nice.
Well, to be fair, dude, he
That
had
was,
like
that was my panel at in 2015.
Yeah, it was voices, and it's like, oh god, it's Dusty Cat. Hi, how you doing? And it says, oh, it's just going over.
I remember. I remember that was still pretty fun. I remember like because Dusty was like, "No, I'm just here to say hi to Silverquill," and then he left. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, goodbye.
Pretty much.
All right, but anyways,
that actually brings up a point. I actually can't go to panels, even ones I want to go to, because the minute I walk into somebody else's panel, everybody turns and looks at me, and I feel bad about interrupting somebody else's panel, especially one of my friends.
Oh my god.
Well, the only way to fix that, if you have a panel, Dusty, I'm gonna interrupt and I'll be like, I'll wear the sparkliest stuff that I can find. I'll be like, hello.
Oh my god.
anyways, I think we've reached the end of this episode. So yeah, if you made this, yeah,
already.
Did it?
Well, isn't this the end? Everybody's covered everything. We've talked about the episode enough.
I know,
Yep.
but
This
we
is
ended
the
it
end,
all.
You
my
even got
friend.
2 opinions in there.
No, he's not ended it yet. We'll go to pre-show in a second.
No, post-show or whatever. But yes, thank
Whatever.
you all for who have been watching. Definitely go subscribe to Sweet Bloom and, of course, Dusty Cat as well, because they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Dusty, you still do stay Brony, right?
Where have you been?
No,
Apparently under
I
a
haven't done
rock.
Stay Brony in a year.
like he ended that for like a year ago. He does other things. You guys should
I
watch
had
him.
I had to end the show because Screwball retired.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
guys should go. You guys should go on Dusty's channel and watch him make a Sunset Shimmer guitar because it's really cool.
It is.
Or
It is
learn how
really
to
cool.
cook pumpkin bread or,
Yes, so I
lots
did,
of stuff in there.
I do cooking videos now, and I did a series of videos on building the Sunset Shimmer guitar. And
Wait,
I'm-
Most importantly, he did a Holly Jolly Heartswarming with some weird Jack in the Box creature.
You still do Stay Brony, my friends?
No,
That's
he-
literally what I just
I
said.
just looked at his channel. Their latest one was uploaded 2 weeks ago.
Oh, they're probably old.
Air.
Okay.
was that a re-air? Okay.
Posted
Last,
them.
then the one before that would have been 3 months.
Here's the dealio, guys.
Hmm.
All of my old shows, most of my old shows, are still over on the Everfree Network channel, which hasn't been alive or active for 3 years. I'm trying to put them up on my channel so they don't disappear.
Ah,
So if you see one go up, I'll say right at the front, this is a re-air. I'm trying to get them on my channel so that everybody can see them from past fun. The problem is people think I'm still doing it. So now what I'm doing is I'm uploading them, but not actually checking the box saying tell all my subscribers. So basically, I'm just putting them up there one every week or so until I get them all up there, and then I'll just make an announcement. Hey, all the old shows are on my channel now. If you want to go see all the old fun, and I've just got back from Vancouver, and Lee Tolkar has basically been pounding on me to start a new show. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
True.
I might.
Hold on.
Do it.
I'd make that video your channel trailer, dude. Like, for when people first click on your channel, they get that sort of, okay, so this is where I can go for all the old stuff.
Yeah.
Might make it easier. I don't know.
Well, the problem is I don't want all my old stuff to disappear when somebody figures out that Everfree Network's channel's been dead for 3 years and they cancel it or they
Right.
kill it, So I want to be under control of my own content. So I'm trying to get it on my channel so I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, with that explanation out of the way, thank you all for tuning in for another episode of Roundtable's Magic. Join us next week when we cover Sisterhood Social with Cell Specs. That was an episode that was voted on you guys. You guys picked the guest, you guys picked the episode, so that is a special fan episode just for you guys. I think that actually turned out really well. So, that being said, from all of us at Roundtable's Magic, thank you for watching and stay awesome. See you on the next episode.
Stay burning, my friends.
Thank you. Step on my friends. Oh, bye-bye.
Yay, did the thing.